Are you looking to level up your cash flow and increase the value of your personal brand by owning your very own custom-tailored and unique line of private label supplements without a big upfront investment or having to do any of the hard work? Seriously, are you nearly exhausted looking for your very own one-stop shop for private label supplements? Are you frustrated by supplement manufacturers who demand a purchase order of at least 5,000 units, gouge you on the price, ask you to design your own labels, or just Photoshop your logo on top of theirs, want you to sell generic products that aren't uniquely yours, formulate flavor profiles that taste gross, have insanely long lead times, leave you with the burden of warehousing your inventory and shipping it? Let's look at these factors in more detail. Number 1, demand a purchase order of at least 5,000 units. The reality is that it doesn't make sense financially in the minds of many supplement manufacturers to fire up their production lines for a small run. Why? Because their entire business model is based on an economy of scale, and they have invested in expensive production line machinery for the express purpose of being able to quickly and inexpensively produce large volumes of finished product. This machinery needs to be prepped, cleaned, and maintained, and if it's not going to be used for a large run, it makes no financial sense to even turn the lights on in the facility. However, from the point of view of the startup entrepreneur who wants to launch their own line of private label supplements, a 5,000 unit minimum run is a lot of money going out the door. Unlike other supplement companies, We Private Label takes a different view. They realize that in today's online world, anybody can potentially evolve from a small fish into a big fish almost overnight. The surge in popularity from suddenly going viral is like waving a magic wand and presto, you are selling thousands of units a week. So rather than chase after huge clients, We Private Label looks at potential clients as potential partners. Now don't worry, when you work with We Private Label, you still own your own brand 100%. If you didn't, you wouldn't be increasing the value of your personal brand now, would you? You will find that We Private Label's supportive mindset is not limited to simply offering low minimums, but rather dedicated to doing everything in their power to set you up for success. Stay tuned until the end and see just how easy it can be to make big money with private label supplements while simultaneously skyrocketing the value of your personal brand. Number 2, gouge you on the price. Again, We Private Label looks at you as a partner and a long-term investment because they know you ultimately cannot fail if you work with them. Big money will come in due time. Why? Because they know how easy it is to sell when you have a large online following. It's like having your own printing press for cash. You just may not have realized it yet. Other supplement companies look at you as if you're going to fail and try and get as much money as they can out of you on your first run, since they don't know how to actually set you up for success and support you along the way. Number 3, ask you to design your own labels or just Photoshop your logo on top of theirs. Designing your product label is probably the number 1 reason you don't have your own supplement line yet. You may have a great logo or a great idea for one, catchy product name, or even have samples of the type of look you want your labels to have. However, you remain stuck at this point and seem unable to move forward. Part of building a brand is building a brand's visual identity, and you need to design a label with the possibility in mind that one day it will sit on store shelves. This won't happen if you follow some private label guru's advice and just take a pre-existing label that you like and slap your logo on top of it using some crude online image editor. Perhaps you're unsure where to source a graphic designer who has worked with product labels before or even understands how to create a nutrition facts box and get everything right by the end of the first revision. Designing a label is more than just how a label looks, but also about how compliant a label is with government regulations. Communicating with graphic designers who are inexperienced in label design, who don't listen to feedback, and who don't appreciate how exhausting it is to proof a label, catch errors, submit corrections, and have them all corrected the first time around will sap you of time, energy, and ultimately the momentum that successful entrepreneurship requires. If you lack sufficient momentum, it is all too easy to fall victim to analysis paralysis, which is the bane of an entrepreneur's existence. We Private Label does all the heavy lifting when it comes to your label. All you need to do is come up with your own brand name and your own product name. If you have a design or specific design elements in mind, even better. We Private Label will take care of the rest. Number 4, want you to sell generic products that aren't uniquely yours. How are you going to stand out in the marketplace if there's nothing unique about your product. If, for example, the fish oil that you're selling is just like every other fish oil out there, why would a customer buy it from you? Will they not just go buy the cheapest fish oil they can find? Where will that leave you? In a race to the bottom, with no profit margin worth your investment. Fish oil is just fish oil until you can demonstrate that it is not. Does your fish oil have the highest EPA content on the market? Is it the perfect balance of EPA and DHA for your target demographic? Is it free from impurities? Does it play nice with your gastrointestinal system? That which is unique about your product is exactly what gives a customer a reason to buy from you and only from you, as well as what gives you the right to charge a premium for your product. Also, it transforms you personally from a brand ambassador into an authority. After all, what better way to demonstrate your authority in the marketplace than by providing your customers with unique products that showcase your standout knowledge? Number 5, formulate flavor profiles that taste gross. Everyone knows that it is the taste of the product that keeps your customers from cheating on you, and that most products on the market do not taste good enough if they taste good at all. With this in mind, why would you use some run-of-the-mill and out-of-the-box product ready to be private labeled where you have no control over the flavor profile? We Private Label works with you to create a perfect flavor profile along with a sample you can approve before production. After all, if you don't like the taste, why would your customers? Number 6, have insanely long lead times. The first time a product is run, it is not unrealistic to have a 6-week lead time. But on subsequent runs, such a long lead time is unacceptable. A 2-week lead time or less is far more advantageous to you. Again, let's go back to the importance of momentum. Why kill your momentum by getting thrown into a back order right after a successful product launch or when scaling up due to exploding demand? Why end up aggravating your customers and overloading your customer service? Why jam up the cash flow that you may need in order to support your efforts to scale up successfully? We Private Label has fast and flexible lead times that allow you to maintain momentum and scale up quickly as demand for your supplement lines inevitably explodes. This is yet another example of how We Private Label is devoted to your success. Number 7, leave you with the burden of warehousing your inventory and shipping it. The logistics of warehousing and fulfillment can be overwhelming as well as very costly and time consuming. Of course, if you want to handle your own warehousing and fulfillment, you are free to do so. If not, We Private Label has solutions for you. Listen, We Private Label is not for everyone. It is not for someone who refuses to invest in their business or believe in themselves and their vision for their business, and it is certainly not for dropshippers who cannot see that a product that lacks uniqueness or that does not taste delicious has no future. Those get-rich-quick dropshipping courses you find online fail to grasp the true purpose of creating your own lineup of private label supplements. Private label supplements are for those entrepreneurs who aspire to create their own unique supplement line that their customers will love and subsequently stay loyal to. This leads to countless customer referrals which you don't have to spend advertising dollars on or any extra time to acquire, who will in turn refer even more customers to you. Loyal customers who continue to buy from you also means that your customers have more value over time, which means that you can spend more to acquire a customer lead than your competition and still come out on top. Ultimately, the goal of We Private Label is to help you to create a successful supplement brand that is not only extremely lucrative, but that can be potentially parlayed into a huge payday if one day a holding company decides to buy out your brand and place it into their portfolio of brands. When you reach out to We Private Label, it is like reaching out to one of your friends who also happens to be a business coach who specializes in supplements. We Private Label will be there with you every step of the way until you reach the level of financial success you know you deserve. Click the link below and reach out for a free consultation. Until then, have a blessed day.